YouTubers, what's going on? I don't normally do this. I'm usually too busy or too focused on actually doing my work to try to take time and do a DIY on a build or anything like that. I usually just take pictures and post it to Facebook. Not one to, like I said, really take time and do this. Don't really care for it. But I'm Jake N54 with Penetrated Fab and Mechanical here in the beautiful state of Maine. We call it vacation land. Sure. So I figured I'd do a little breakdown on what we got going on here. I'm helping my brother. He's got a build on a car that he's put way too much money into. He's no expense was spared. He best of the best. Turner Motorsports, Vargas turbos. I mean, just the tuning companies that tune and fix, supposed to be the best of the best. Yada yada yada. And here I am, his mechanically inclined brother. That, you know, I'm the wrench turner. He's the pencil pusher. He's the car salesman. I fix shit. I've been trying to talk him into a single turbo here for quite some time, and not make the mistakes that I've made in builds that I've done, and just try to go the cheap way and try to make horsepower from cheap money. It's not a good idea. It costs you more. Anyways, long story short, a little bit about me. I'm 33, live here in Maine my whole life. Never been past Florida. Worked on cars my whole life. Lived in a garage. Recently fired from Bath Iron Works shipyard. I was a welder there for 3 years. Don't buy equipment from pawn shops because apparently it'll get you fired if it turns out to be your employer's, I guess. Whatever, fuck it. So here I am, making ends meet. Doing what I do, turning wrenches, fixing shit for people, helping people out. This is what I like to do. I like to help people. I work on anything from diesels to 18-wheelers to weed whackers. If it can be fixed, I'll find a way. And the correct way, usually. It may take me a little while, but I get it. That's why people choose to come to me. I'm honest. I'm not here to get rich, just here to live. So, long story short, I'm here at a longtime family friend's garage. He's also a customer of mine. He's generous enough to let me use his house and garage that he just built to help him, so I can help my brother finally, hopefully, come to the end of this damn build. I don't know if we say end, but there's never an end to a build, as we all know. It's only as deep as your pockets go. So thankfully that's really nice of him. So I'm here, AC's going, it's hotter than, dick out here. And we're about to get started. So I'll walk you around real quick, show you the cool stuff that I get to work on, and we'll get started. So I'm gonna do, once we get into it, I'm gonna do a little history of the car, what kit he decided to use, quality of the kit. I'm hoping to be able to remember to stop periodically, take videos. If I don't, I'm sorry. I'll inject some pictures into the video of what I've done before to this vehicle and what we've done. And but anyways, let's get into it. Start this car off. I went from driving an 09 Audi S5 V8 6-speed manual to not giving a shit about a payment and driving a $2,500 shit box. No fucks to give. I really don't care. Just here to live and support for my family. That's all. My two girls. I have two little girls, 7 and 8, that mean the world to me. So I do welding. as you can tell. So that's a Duster, one of my customers' cars. He's a really great guy. Carpentry fanatic. He's the man. He can build you a house out of toothpicks. So I'm also doing, I don't know if you can see it or not, 72 Buick Skylark. Trunk pan. It's all rotted out. Just all kinds of different shit. There's the exhaust for the car we're working on. Shitter if I ever need to drop a deuce. This is another one of his cars I've gotten the pleasure to work on. It's absolutely beautiful in my eyes. I love it. Super clean, fresh rebuild. I want to say it's a 69 Super B Coronet, 383 stroker. Super clean. It's parked in a carport, I guess you'd call it. It is for sale. Super clean. You could eat off the floor pan and use the brake lines as a fork. So, but let's get into the garage. This is the garage. I feel pretty fortunate, honestly, to have generous people like that to help me out. Sorry, I got shaky hands. Let's get right into it. So, I'll share the build here in a minute, but I wanted to share the other car that I get to work on, which is this. It's 72, or fuck, I don't remember. Full rebuild, Richard Petty, Charger RT. I love it. This is fun stuff. I feel pretty fortunate to be able to work on it. On anything, really. It's pretty beautiful. Not much, just a rebuild. But let's see if I can. I don't know if I can reverse this camera or not. I guess we'll have to do fucking selfie mode. So here we are. 08 BMW 335, N54, 2-door 6-speed manual, all-wheel drive. We're going with the on3 single turbo. We have gone through a set of stock turbos, as I'm sure everyone that owns a 35 series or an N54 will also go through stock turbos because they're fucking junk. Don't forget your coffee from Cumberland Farms. Keeps you going. This is the car. Just your normal 335. Love it. Super fun to drive. Yes, we have replaced and gone from stock turbos to twin Vargas Turbo Stage 2 Plus that were completely fucking junk. Water math, as you see. I feel bad for my brother because he's had this car for we've been building this for about 3 years and he's been nothing but dealing with people that say they know what they're doing, but they really don't. They don't take the time to show some sort of fucking care, I guess, like it's your own vehicle. And of course, me being me, it's my brother. You know, I gotta help him. So, Here we are. Let's see. This is how I've gotten it. So let's see if I can make a long story short. He bought the car. It came with a JB4, which was all right, I guess. I mean, not bad, but it ended up blowing the offsets in his DME. So we switched from that and we upgraded. That's when he decided to. Let's see how. I gotta back up. Yeah, his turbos, his stock turbos, blew. Got Vargas's replaced on it. Sent it down to Turner Motorsports. Had them put it on. Completely fucked the install up. I mean, I feel so bad for this guy. He has spared no change. I mean, the turbo inlet line, the oil line was loose. The downpipes were loose. The manifolds weren't even tightened to the motor. And this is from a top-rated company, and here I am, just your average Joe Blow, trying to fix people's fucking mistakes that they don't want to go good on. So, anyways, he blew his stock turbos, brought it down to Vargas, Turner. Didn't really want to listen to me. I also had told him, let's go big turbo. At the time, it was a little more expensive than what it is right now. Kit was $3,500, upgraded turbo, billet wheel, yada yada. So he bought the Vargas turbos, paid Jesus stage 2 plus, I think they were like $4,500, something like that at the time. Got the turbos, brought it down to Turner Motorsports. They installed it. He knew nothing about it being all fucked up. Went straight from Turner to Bren Tuning in Massachusetts, and they tuned it. Well, they tuned it. They gave him a good tune on the JB. They actually installed the cob. So they deleted the JB4, installed the cob, and gave him a pretty good tune. One with meth, one without. They did pretty good. I'd go to him again. Except for the fact that when we picked the car up, we got about 5 minutes down the road and the turbos, it was fucking billowing smoke. Just billowing smoke, more than it did with the stock turbos. But shit, it fucking ripped shit. It went. It was good. We dynoed it. It came up to, I think it was 546 to the wheels. It was really, the thing moved. The thing really, really moved. That was without meth. Because he ran out, got it back, and he was just so disappointed because it was a car that had all kinds of shit ton of power, but it smoked. It was embarrassing to drive, and it wasn't just your normal little puff of smoke. You need a fucking respirator if you stand behind it. I feel bad because I mean, like I said, I'm his brother, I'm mechanically inclined, and here I am just trying to steer him in the right direction. And obviously everybody wants to go, with the best of the best, and shit happens, right? So he went with the Cobb, and he's had it for about a year now, and he didn't want to believe that the turbos were blue, which I really don't blame him because they were brand new. They had less than 500 miles on them. So he spent money trying to diagnose this smoking issue because it wouldn't smoke under a load, but as soon as you left the throttle, it just billows smoke, like the seals in the turbo were bad, which I also believe too, but you want to change the cheap stuff first because you just spent $9 fucking grand trying to, put turbos and yada yada yada. So we, got the Berger Motorsports catch can. I did valve cover gasket, pulled the whole cover off, checked it, blew it out, PCV, did the upgrade. I mean, honestly, no expense was spared. I also, that didn't fix it, so the PCV and all the cheaper stuff, trying to chase down this smoke at a cheap cost was, obviously a mistake, because I was 80% sure it was the turbos myself, but I didn't want to believe it. So I pulled the head. I was thinking it was valve guide seals because we did everything possible that other than replace the turbos to see of smoke and smoke. So I pulled ahead. We deck it. I put ARP suds. I talked him into. I pulled all the valves, cleaned them by hand. Replaced the valve seals. Intake, exhaust, cleaned everything. Retimed it, and I'll put the photos of me doing that in here too, as well. So it has been decked. It does have ARP head studs and a brand new head gasket. And it still smoked. So I was pissed. I mean, I was really hoping the best for him, and it didn't. So we've also put, we went with the turbo inlets, all of it. We really did. There really wasn't much to spare. So again, he sends it to another local shop because I don't have a garage. I can't afford that. I really wish I could, and fuck, I need one. So he sends it to another local shop to pull the Vargas turbos off. He got in contact with Vargas turbos themselves through email, and they told him 5 to 7 day turnaround if he ships them out, which was like $200 to ship them out to California, from Maine to California, wherever the fuck they are. Spends the $200+ to ship them out. 14 days goes by, wondering where they are. He contacts them and says, what's going on? Well, apparently they still didn't even get to him, and he told them that he's so backed up that he's not going to be able to do it, so he's sending the turbos back. Cool, thanks. That's really generous of you. That's, so here we are. He paid another local shop, I don't know, I think it was like $1,200 to remove the turbo. His car was sitting at their shop for about fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if not more, waiting on these turbos that never got fixed. He actually just got them back yesterday in the mail. Completely still fucking soaked in oil. Never even touched. They don't even look like they were disassembled. There's still fucking dirt oil on the V-band clamps for the housing. So Vargas Turbo, your customer service and your product, in my opinion, is fucking shit. That's my opinion. So cool. Now he's forced to do a single turbo. That's what we're doing here today. So hopefully I'll be able to take progress and see, what it comes of. So I'll set this up and maybe I can get, periodic, whatever it is that I'm doing. Like I said, never done this before, but here we are. Jake from Penetrated Fab and Mechanical. 08 BMW 335 XI 6-speed manual, 2-door coupe with the on3 67 turbo, I believe, with the upgraded billet wheel. In my opinion, I think it's a great looking kit. I really do. Oh, also upgraded fuel pump for the tank. I think it's a great looking kit. I really do. Me being a welder myself, I think the manifold looks really, really well. You can tell that it was welded first and then, washed over with a TIG torch to make it look cool, which is fine because it still looks cool, but, I see this stuff. This is stuff that I see, No, whatever. So I'm hoping I can talk my brother into financing the materials for me to TIG up custom intake manifold before we blow his plastic one apart. We're shooting for 800 horse, would be nice. 7 is minimum. We won't stop till we see at least 701. And I think that'll be easily obtainable. I really do. He's decided to go from JB4 to the Cobb. Unfortunately, our closest tuner for Cobb is way down in Massachusetts. So it's like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive one way. So we decided to go, well, he did, actually. I'm trying to actually talk him into testing out the AEM standalone. There's not very many options for standalone for the N54 right now, unfortunately. I'd really love to. We're getting up into those numbers where that's where you're at. You don't want to deal with boost creep issues and whatever, you know, you want to be able to tune it. So you want to do it correctly, the right time, the right way the first time. So here we are, on3 single turbo. We're going with MHD N54 flasher with the boost box. And that's what we're doing. So here we are. Catch you later. Okay, I've gotten to a point where I figured I could stop and take a progress and show you at least how to get the front bumper cover off and headlights. I probably don't have to do all that, but I'm going to anyways. Last time I worked on this car, I dropped the whole subframe, tranny, motor and all, struts, whatever. But this time I'm just going to remove the whole front clip. And so to start, you got your front, obviously you got your front bumper cover. Screws up here. Right. Yeah, careful with that. You're in a fender. You're in a fender. You got, I don't know, 10 or so, 8 millimeters, holding to here, up into your screws onto your fender, your bumper cover. Excuse me. Then you disconnect all your harnesses. Same thing over here. You do, you know, remove your inner fender, remove the bolts, unplug your lights, and I'm also at removing the headlight too. So to remove the bumper cover, you'll see there's a couple screws up in here. They're not, you don't see them, but that's what holds the front bumper cover on. Be a T30 here for your headlight. One there, and 2 there, just like over here. Your headlight comes out. Disconnect your washer, and you know, there it is. So I'll check in with you when I get the front clip off. Obviously the radiator, you know, it's simple stuff. I don't need to really do all that. I'll get back with you when the whole front clip is off. Okay, we're back. The front clip off. I feel like I missed a few steps on the headlights and stuff like that, so I wanted to address that. There's a few on the inside of your headlight. You got this little clip right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. Fools you. You wouldn't think that it's there. It's there. Charge pipe off. Oil cooler. Front radiator support. Radiator unplugged. AC. The oil cooler itself that also mounts here to that. I try to put bolts back so I don't lose them. 6 millimeter, 13 millimeter, 6 millimeter heck, excuse me. Try not to dump as much oil as I did when you disconnect oil lines, power steering lines, excuse me. So this is how I got it with turbos off. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Let's dig into it. Ready? Okay, so I was gonna do this. I was gonna try to do this without actually dropping the whole engine, tranny, subframe, and do it just in the car and try to install it in there. But I forgot that there's inlet pipes on the back side, and I don't feel like fighting with them. And everything's kind of oily. I kind of want to clean it out and just start fresh. I probably don't have to drop the whole thing. And I could probably do it without... What the fuck is this? Unreal. What, they fucking cut it? Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Who's the... So I'm just discovering that. I don't yeah. Well, I'll address that fucking bullshit later. Well, anyways, so... Like I said, I was gonna try to do everything in the car but I want to clean it up, do it right. I want to be able to triple check things, see things, be able to, you know, clean all this oil up and okay, so you know, an extra hours of time will, you know, ensure that everything gets done right. You know, I don't have to drop it again. I don't have to check for leaks, you know. So that's where we stand. I guess I'll check back in a little bit, probably later on tonight. I don't know. I don't know how much longer I gotta work on this. I still got other customers I gotta do. But just wanted to check in real quick. I got a couple of stuff underneath, all disconnected fuel lines, PCV reroute, slave cylinder, all that stuff. Just mounted the drive shaft, and whatever I need to get ready to drop it. But I just wanted to, I'm freshly opening up this myself. It was the catch can, so just out of curiosity, I did crack it free so that I could do it with one hand. But I did notice some shit in there. So just out of, I'm gonna set this down real quick. So this is the Burger Motorsports, I believe. Yep, catch can. There's quite a bit of condensation in there that it's caught, so clearly the updated PCV works. And this is all stuff that would have been normally recycled into your motor, so I mean, we'll clean that out, get it right, get it back together. We're getting there. So you gotta get your electrical over here. This panel comes off, power, these come off out of there, all your church pipe, anything connected to the body coming off. So here we are. Check in a bit. All right, we're back. I don't know what time it is. It's about 3:28. 3:28. So I decided to go this route just because I like to be proficient. Pretty simple, actually. There's not much to dropping it like this. There's really not much. You got your three trannies, support on each side. You know, your fuel line, PCV, clutch cable, heater core, AC. It's really not much. You got 3 subframe bolts on each side. One there, one there, one there. A couple of, I'm sure I'm probably missing a lot of stuff, but I got to a pretty good, I'd like to think it's a pretty good stopping point for today. I think we're gonna go ahead and clean it tomorrow, de-oil it, address this bullshit right here. That's kind of disappointing, to be honest with you. I've honestly never seen someone cut a subframe to make shit easier for them. And it just goes back to the quality of shit that people, you know, give to customers, which is, it's really unsettling for me. But here we are. We're at it. I'm probably gonna stop. Who knows? I don't know. I'd like to go see my wife and kids and get some dinner. But we'll probably catch up with you tomorrow, I think. Whoa, what are we gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna de-oil it, and we're probably gonna mount a turbo. We're probably gonna de-oil these, get these water lines out of here, oil lines. I gotta address probably, there's some wire and stuff where you're going from twins to a single, so just gonna take my time and go about it the right way. This is, you know, all out of the ECU. Just pay attention, take your time. You don't be an idiot, you don't have to rip and tear. It's not that hard. I'd really like to get him to agree to a intake manifold, but that's it for today, guys. Later.